live at Click Connect, special Friday night audit. Stay tuned. Craig Sullivan, you have got the most amazing shirt I've ever seen in my life. What is that all about?
Hey, that's promoting our other show, 3 Minute Thursdays.
Holy shit, dude. What have we done? The mistakes that we're making right now, unbelievable.
We're going to haunt us for years. Are you kidding?
It's a little countdown timer sequence. I like how we're going to get demonetized with the cursing right out of the bat on that one. So thank you to Tom for that. Hey, we're live at the rooftop of the W Hollywood. Craig, we got a lot going on this weekend. But before we get started, I got to know what time it is.
Hey, it's time for an audit from
Hey, everybody, cheers. Welcome to Friday Night Audit, live from the rooftop of the W Hollywood. I'm Glenn Hausman. That's Craig Sullivan. And we got Todd Stevens here from Cunningham with us once again. How are you, man?
I'm doing well. I'm doing great.
Coming close to the microphone if you can.
I'm doing awesome because I'm here now. So,
well, thank you for joining us today. This is great.
Thanks for getting me out of the office for the
Yeah.
afternoon.
Hey, listen, we're here to help. That's what this show is all about. And I want to thank GM Nick Remadio for making sure we have the beautiful rooftop area here to broadcast from. So I'm pretty excited about that. But Craig, you know what I'm not excited about is I didn't realize it'd be so hot. I went from complaining about how cold I am all the time in New York to now all of a sudden I got to switch gears to complaining about how hot I am.
Yeah.
Also, I've noticed, I don't know if you guys out there can hear all of the noise on the streets, but when I was in downtown LA last week at AHOA, like every 10 minutes, some dude in a really loud car overcompensating for his lack of parts of him would go driving down the street. Like like in New York City, it's fine. You hear the sirens, get used to it, but the whole idea of these guys like racing down the street, like down Flower Street in LA, do you really need to be?
No sense.
It makes no sense.
It's
but
really ridiculous.
I know. What are you going to do?
But unfortunately, it's not coming through on the view. But we on the
How
screen.
about you guys get your ugly faces out of the view so the wonderful people can see?
Oh, yeah, we were supposed to do that. All right, so we're going to step out. The camera's going to readjust and hopefully show us the background. I can't see anything. Dave, you're going to have to narrate. You're going to have to narrate if you can see.
I'm going to put on the one shot because it looks beautiful right now. So just stay where you are. It did focus in. So look how amazing this view is.
Is that because Craig and I are not in the frame of the picture right now? Is that
Actually, Craig is in the frame? All right, you guys can come back. It's okay.
Yeah. So this is a beautiful part of downtown Hollywood. Of course, you got the classic Capitol Records building, which is just quintessential Hollywood. Yesterday, we did a 3 Minute Thursday with Craig and myself, and I was in front of the Cinerama Dome, which was a whole lot of fun. Another classic location here in LA.
Absolutely. And just so the audience knows, our friends at Netflix are just a few blocks away in their beautiful building in that direction. Yep. So Glenn and I can, walk our offer over to buy Netflix and bring hospitality.
We could do that, but since we know Nick Remadio, the GM over here, he's volunteered to unfurl a giant sign the length of the building that talks about our actual offer and an email address and how to hit us up. So I think it's going to probably close, I'd say, by mid next week, because there's no way they're going to see that sign and be like, oh, we're in for $125. And I think what we're going to do, throw in a couple of tickets to Disneyland or something like that, too.
We're going to give them a couple of Pelican cases, too.
Oh, yeah, the Pelican cases, right. Yeah. Maybe we'll also throw in a ticket to Disneyland, but you got to buy your own Lightning Lane stuff.
Guys, before we get too much further in here, let's say cheers to all the people out there.
Dave, you're running a tight ship over here. You remember to do all I can't remember to do.
People to see. I have a T-ball practice coming up shortly, so I don't have much time for your shenanigans. So
hopefully that's not the T-ball laying on your chest right there right now.
No. This is another sort of ball that is just a lazy little lump.
That's baby
but-
Glenn Craig.
Well, it looks like you guys are drinking beer, so it's not so much what you guys are drinking, but at the rooftop at the W, the question is, how much do those beers cost?
Oh, they're very reasonable. They've been very nice to us here at the W.
Yeah,
So,
everything here is absolutely wonderful and
Yeah.
perfectly priced.
Now, Todd, what are you drinking?
Rum and diet.
Any particular rum brand?
No, I wasn't really. We putting Diet Coke in it. At that point, it's kind of wasteful money to go. Give me a top shelf, and then let's mix it with some carbonated caramel water.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense.
Diet
that
caramel
And
shit-
I
water.
diet because I got to watch my figure.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
watching.
you're not the only one watching that figure.
Now, tell us. I know that obviously the title of the show is live from W Hollywood, but Glenn, for those who don't know, why the hell are you in LA right now?
To do the show here live at the W Hollywood, of course. And while I'm here, by coincidence, Phish happens to be doing 3 nights at the Hollywood Bowl that I'll be attending. So
That was total by chance, right? Like, you
total
just
by
happened
chance.
to
We
find
had
out.
this show scheduled.
Fluke accident.
Coincidence.
We had this show scheduled right after I got those tickets. It was just I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
And then we suddenly found ourselves here for the weekend. So it worked out really well time-wise. One of the things is we travel so much for our respective jobs over here. Sometimes it's tough to make things work. And I have to be in Vegas on Monday afternoon anyway. So it was a perfect opportunity to just come out here for the weekend, get a chance to knock out a bucket list show for me. I've never seen a concert at the Hollywood Bowl before.
There
I've
you
always
go.
wanted to do that. I'm sure, Todd, you feel that way about the Jones Beach Amphitheater on Long Island. You can't wait to get there.
I cannot wait.
Well, listen, all jokes aside,
Yeah. What's
I
that,
saw-
Dave?
all jokes aside, I saw the summer roster list or the summer concert list for PNC Bank Arts Center, which is the amphitheater
Yep.
down here in Jersey.
Yep.
It's pretty good. Honestly, it's a pretty good roundup of shows. So
Nice.
Glenn, you may have to come down to Jersey for a show.
Honestly, Dave, what typically happens is they play
I
there.
know,
on,
they go to
they
both.
play there
They go
on
to both.
Tuesday, and then they come to Jones Beach on Wednesday.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. So Glenn, Tom
Yeah.
wants to know: did you celebrate your holiday yesterday?
Tom, happy birthday!
Happy birthday,
And thank you
Tom, and
so
thank you
much
very
for that
much.
that great countdown open. We really appreciate it. Finally, someone's got to bring some skills to this program over here.
It's not going to be Todd, that's for sure.
I went to. It was really exciting for me because not only did I go and celebrate the holiday at this store, and thanks for the good folks over at MMD for having such a great assortment of products to choose from, but I got a 25% discount off of everything. So what a perfect way to celebrate the holiday.
Cheers.
So cheers to me. And other than this few sips of beer, I'm completely sober right now because I've got a lot of pacing that I have to do to make sure I maximize these concerts.
It's just the beginning. Yeah. We've
What
got a-
time is the show?
7:00 ticket time.
Okay. Now, Craig,
Yes.
Glenn holds true and strong that the third show is always the best. Are you going to the third show?
He's not.
No, I've got Glenn was gracious enough to get me tickets for tonight and tomorrow, and then I'm bailing after breakfast with Glenn on Sunday and getting back behind the orange curtain to visit my puppy and get some rest before Monday.
And that aside, practically speaking, he did one show in Vegas, so we're gonna amp it up to 2. So
Yeah.
three is really a whole different kind of a ball game that takes a lot of
But
a lot of
we're
years
in
of
New
practice.
York in July, so
ramping up.
I know.
Ramping up your training.
Yeah.
Listen, I've done the Houseman Phish tour in Atlantic City. It is a tough trip. You have to be ready. You have to be awake. There's no time to stop. If you're not at the Phish show, you're at the dinner, or you're getting cheesesteaks, or you're at the casino. There's a lot that goes on when you're partying with Glenn Houseman.
You're missing the most important part, the nap before
Yeah.
each show.
pre-show nap.
Yeah, which usually we don't do on the first of 3 because usually it's a work day or whatever. But on the weekend, like for the Atlantic City shows, we got up, we drove down there. This past year, actually, I came in the night before. I came in on Thursday, but typically it's a regular work day. We don't get much napping in. I'll get a little downtime before tonight's show, but tomorrow, come 2-ish, I'm out for a little while. I need quiet time. I need to be able to focus. I need to gather my strength, my energies in order to be able to boogie on all night long, which is
Be one with the
And also
universe.
let your liver recover because your liver is going to be torched at the end of this weekend.
I don't know about that.
No.
I'll tell you why.
You know what, Todd? Glenn is not a drinker.
I'm
Probably
not,
just
right.
today.
I'm not a super big
Okay.
drinker. So
Okay.
what I really like to do is I like to have a couple of drinks at the beginning
Yeah.
like as we're getting ready for the show to start. Like Craig and I are going to go over there pretty early, and I hope all of you guys there are taking notes about how to do,
This is how you roll.
concerts appropriately. I actually wanted to write a book after college called The Jam Band Tour Guide because all my buddies and I had all this shit figured out. Like who's, you always got to find your guy that's good at the thing. I was really good at getting the hotels because I knew people.
Hey, Glenn, how about you be really good at staying on the screen so we can see you?
Wow. He's
Dang.
taking control.
He's really, you're ruining my train of thought, man. Now I gotta start over. So
I think we got a whole new shirt coming.
I know, right?
Yeah.
And I was also good with directions, while I had another buddy that was good at either buying tickets that needed to be gotten or selling tickets for a profit that we had a surplus. Then I had another guy that was good at finding other supplies that were much more difficult where you could just go down to the street to go buy them, all of that kind of stuff. So we had we had 4 guys in our group. We were called the Square, and each one of us had very specific responsibilities. One of my guys was in charge of being good at hacky sack. So I think he had the lucky gig out of all of us over there.
Oh, that's too fun. Now, are those other 3? Do they go to Phish concerts with you?
Yeah, the one we all came up doing that together, starting in our 20s. We've been doing it for like 30 years. In Atlantic City, one of the guys, Corey, flew up from Florida where he lives now and did some of those shows with us.
Corey was a trip, man. Corey was fun.
And you've seen Corey if you've watched Friday Night Audit. He's been on 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
Now.
He was on before Phish, wasn't he?
What? No, that was Steve in Vegas. Yeah. No, Corey was on. He did a live show with us at the Housman Resort Pool Club and Smokehouse, and then he did both Atlantic City. He did the second Atlantic City show when we were.
Is anybody coming? Is any of the Phish crew coming to Cali with you, Glenn?
Chris Daly's coming.
Yeah, he'll be here later tonight.
I actually have to text Chris. We have some work to do together. I got to let him know.
Don't do it now because he's on a plane right now, and then he's gonna land. He's gonna land at 4:10. 4:10. And try to get to Hollywood from LAX at 4:10.
But the thing though is that's never going to happen. But these Phish shows are like 7 hours long. Like there's a lot of time for him to get there.
Yes, but there's a curfew at the Hollywood Bowl because people live in the foothills. So there is no music past 11 p.m.
Interesting. Now, is that because of surrounding residential?
Yes,
exactly. Yeah.
Great
Theater's got the same thing going on as well.
The Phish concerts in AC, they went to like 1 a.m, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, not out here.
Yeah, it's very different out here for sure. Did we freeze up there for a second there, Dave?
For half a second. You guys are fine though. So the cool thing about the Phish concerts in Atlantic City, guys, you don't even have to buy tickets if you want to just for those concerts.
Well, it's on the beach.
Go to Atlantic City and sit on the boardwalk and hear the concert just fine for about a good mile and a half.
I know.
Is that the same thing at the Hollywood Bowl? Can people sit and watch for free, basically?
If they climb up the back of the hill, there's a fence, and people have been known to come over the fence and join the crowd, especially back in the day when the Grateful Dead were playing. But there's some houses up there. It's, ever since 9/11, everything's changed. It's just security. Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But, some of the houses can hear it, but none of them have, at least the last time I was at the Hollywood Bowl or at the Greek Theater, none of them really had a view down to the stage. And if they did, everybody looked like they were that big.
Yeah. Oh, I just got to notice that Chris's flight is taking place right now. If you want to reach out to Chris, he's on United Flight 1008 departing San Francisco. That is LAX right now.
Oh, Lord. Now, Mike said that in California, they care about their neighbors. Hashtag nice but mean. Todd, you live in California. So to give you an idea of what that hashtag means, if you didn't see the show where I was talking about that, I want to see what you think about this.
Hashtag meets?
Hashtag nice but mean. So the saying goes that people from New York are mean but nice. What that means is, let's say you have a flat tire. It's like, fucking A, man. Now I got to change your fucking tire for you. Fine, let's do it. And we'll help you out. We're just mad about doing it.
Bitch about it the whole time.
But in California, people are nice but mean. So if you have the same flat tire, they're going to be really considerate. Like, oh, man, I'm really sorry for you, man. Like, that sucks, bro. Well, good luck. And they're going to take off.
Yeah. Don't die out here at the side of the road.
Yeah.
Nobody walks in LA either.
Todd.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it just depends on where you're at. But no, I mean, that's kind of like a more passive Midwestern thing, I think, where you have a lot of Midwestern people. So there's there was kind of that just kind of like passive aggressiveness sometimes. I did like, super nice, but then they're not like so far in your stuff every day. But I will say this though, I mean, like if you need help, there's good people here that'll definitely step in and help you out.
Not staying on the rooftop of the W Hotel right now, that's for sure.
Well, generally people will be
they have us in a corner.
We do believe in like, survival of the fittest, right? It's Hollywood, man. Everybody comes out here to become actors and whatever. And so it's like they're all clawing their way to the top of their media program, whatever. And so the producer from, one of the producers from Netflix is in the lobby waiting for these guys already to sign deals and, get this on Netflix for him. And
Dave's on top of his game because he knows he's going to be working at Netflix.
Yeah. You know what I love? I love all those stories I hear on podcasts and stuff of people that became famous, and then they talk about how they served famous people. It's like, I met you when I was a server at such and such place.
And you were a dick.
That leads me to my next question. We've been doing No Vacancy Live for 3 years now, 3.5 years or so, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We've been doing FNA for 2 years now.
Yeah.
No Vacancy Live is the #1 podcast in hospitality. Friday Night Live is number 3.
And by the way, the #2 podcast is no longer going on anymore. So she's got to drop out.
So by default, we're number 2.
That's right.
We might be number 2 by default.
So when are we getting our Hollywood star?
Comment.
Yeah, when are we getting our Hollywood star?
Oh, they're putting it in right
now. They're working on
it
right now.
Don't you have that picture, David? Bring it up. Show it to the.
I don't have it. But I'll tell you right this. I'll be the first one out there kissing it because there's nothing more sanitary than kissing the streets of Hollywood. Let me tell you.
Well, we'll bring out some all-purpose cleaner and some some rags.
I feel like half of all TikTok videos that there are filmed like right down there on the Walk of Fame.
I think they are.
Yeah.
And it's pretty easy to do too. If you bring in like one of those stone suction cups, you can go in there and pull out a star.
Oh yeah,
and then you can drop your own in there. So just get the dimensions while you're here. Get your star made, and we'll just switch it out.
I like it.
At 2:00 in the morning.
Well, there was a certain star that's been vandalized over the past 6 years.
Oh yeah, there was
repeatedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, then somebody built a tiny wall around it with barbed wire on it.
I'm sure it's just as effective as the other walls.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Now, I've heard stories, and I don't know if this is true or not, that the more famous of a celebrity you are, you get better placement. If you're less famous, you get further away. Where would our star be placed?
Jersey.
Well, the good news is it would be on a sidewalk, not adjacent to other stars. So you'd have the ability to be kind of, unique and
we would
isolated.
Be the draw.
It looks like, it looks like what's going on right now with all of these stars is that there's so many of them that they're doing like a second column of them right next to other stars now. And they're in different directions as well. So you can only see like a third of them or a half of them, depending on how they're mixed going down the street. The others are reading upside down.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, right, all you have to do is have enough money for it, right? And be somewhat famous.
Yeah. It's got to be sponsored, so the maintenance and everything else gets figured into it. There is a process. So you submit it, and then I think there's a fee for the submission, and then you've got to guarantee all the costs involved with the initial pour and making of the star, the installation, the red carpet event, and then maintenance after that.
Yeah, I'm out. See, I don't get paid enough for that.
Sure you do. You work in Manhattan.
Yeah.
If you moved out here, you'd be in the state with the second highest taxes. You'd have all that money in your pocket.
All of it.
Or going out for diapers.
The money. Now, let me tell you.
All the money is going right to diapers for
it's not about my actual job. That's the reason I have no money. The reason I have no money is because I spend all my time working for this guy. All the money I get from him.
All of it.
Wow. You get that finger pointing done right.
It's like he likes 15 minutes at night on Sundays. Yeah.
That's about as much as it is. Yeah. That's actually pretty fair. Actually, no, that's not true. I check my emails like once every couple days.
Yes,
so
I know.
Give me like 30 minutes a week of work. Okay.
All right. You got it, brother.
Well, he'd have 35 if he jumped out on the Wednesday production meeting calls. So
that's true.
You guys weren't even on the last one.
You weren't there. Or the one before that.
Well, we thought you might show up, so we called a different number.
A, I don't even know where they are. But B, typically around that time, I'm driving some kid somewhere to one of the various activities.
Yeah. I'm usually up to something in my garage at that time.
which is the reason I have no money because I'm paying for ballet and hip hop dance and t-ball and karate.
I
And
want to see
Dave,
Dave hip hop.
violin,
Dave,
and horseback riding.
one day you'll be saying, "I wish I was paying for those sorts of things."
Yeah, before the insurance bill rolls in.
Before the
and
college
driver's
bills roll
license.
in, dude.
Yeah, well, what they better be doing is using all this opportunity to get college scholarships, right? The equestrian, my daughter, the equestrian, better be getting a full ride to the Olympics.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope they all inherited your wife's genes. Then, in that case.
Yeah, for real. Like I
So,
said,
I got a question for you Californians over here.
Okay.
Every building I go into, there's a sign on there warning me about all these chemicals that are known to cause cancer.
Yes.
What chemicals are they? And at some point, do you just cease to be worried about anything because they're like nitpicking about every little thing?
It's every little thing. You know. Now, I think initially that started when some of these lots were being converted from gas stations.
Right.
Okay. And the soil was contaminated. The tanks were supposedly encapsulated, but they may not have been.
Well, probably not. It was like the 50s and 60s. So.
60s and 70s. So, but yeah, I mean, every building's got that warning on it.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm sure that warning is going up on your new house under construction in Newport Beach.
I made sure there's one over every door.
Every door,
because
just
I don't want
scare the
people
hell out of them. Yeah.
Also, and I have one of those you can't bring guns in here signs that I see in like buildings in Texas and stuff like that.
Well,
You know,
I
you can
love-
see what
Yeah.
happens.
Oh, by the way, I don't know if you all saw this. The TSA sent out a press release the other day asking people not to bring guns to the airport.
Yeah, their number
Damn
of
it.
confiscations is up dramatically from last year, and over 1,000, I want to say 1,100 guns were seized,
Right.
and they were loaded. Now, that's
Hold on one second.
Haha, I just muted the entire group. The show is now totally mine. They can't do anything about it. I have the power. All right, the helicopter's away. Now I have a question. Now, Glenn, to that point, I see on products sometimes where they'll say, there's a warning label that just says the state of California has notated this to be cancerous. And my question has always been, well, why is it only cancerous in California, but the rest of the country
Right.
doesn't talk about it? Like, what is about the California state line that makes it cancerous versus the rest of the country?
It's the ocean air, I think.
I think it's the ocean air.
Ocean air combined with sunshine, combined with chemicals, increases cancer, apparently.
That's like when we were in Resorts World, right? And they had the
Matt Hostetler.
this was the New York state law. They had to close down the gaming floor by 10 o'clock because COVID was more transmissible before
Right.
10. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
after 10
Right.
than it was before 10.
It's
So
good.
that
I'm really glad that the scientists figured that out because that
Yeah.
was really helpful.
really
for
good.
And then they pushed it back to 11. So now 10 to 11 wasn't as serious, but 11 and beyond was
Well,
tough. So
COVID was getting tired working so hard, getting everybody sick. So
Keeping everybody home.
yeah, you needed to go to bed earlier.
Mike says the chemical signs aren't as scary as the diarrhea signs at the pools. What is that?
By state law, if you've had diarrhea, you're not allowed to get into a public pool for 48 hours.
Yeah. It's just common sense,
Yeah.
really.
It really is common sense, but that's at a rarity.
Yeah.
So
It's sad that in California they got to put things that are very commonsensical on a sign
Yeah.
for people to like, oh, hey, wait, I shouldn't do that. So, I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me started. I'm not a native Californian, but you've living here since 2010. But yeah, there's a lot of wacky things here, and I have no rationality or understanding of why they do it.
it's
that
just
way.
all wet ape shit.
Yeah,
It's
a lot
just
of it
crazy
feels
shit.
like they need to feel like they're doing stuff
Yeah.
so that way they can continue
Yeah.
to avoid the real issues that
Yeah.
you see here in California, like the homelessness problem.
Yeah.
for example.
Exactly.
And also what happens when you take too many lawyers and you put them in legislative positions,
Yeah.
right? It's like, we got to create a law for this, create a law for that. And now I'm going to get like tons of emails from lawyers, but
Most likely.
everybody hates a
But you
lawyer
can send
until you
those
need
to
one.
producer
Right, no, yeah.
Dave at gmail.com.
But,
But
But I love
think-
lawyers. Don't get me wrong. I love lawyers. They're necessary, but
Yes, they
there
are.
is a point where, I mean, just California legislation. If you look at downtown, what's happened recent years? What is that?
What are we looking at?
That's the Baby Ruth bar in the pool.
Craig Sullivan for the win.
I was going to
Classic.
just bring that up,
That
that
was a
these
classic.
legislators have seen Caddyshack one too many times in that Baby Ruth bar in the pool. So good call, David. Look at that.
That's
You are
quick.
getting a job at Netflix.
But good job by you for knowing that, Craig. 'Cause Glenn seemed pretty concerned there for a second.
I can't see too well. There's too much background.
It's too much
Like,
sunlight here.
yeah.
See, we're in California. There's a lot of sunlight, so it's really hard to see the screens right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
my body's not used to all of these vitamins that it's being given.
The vitamin D Glenn's getting right now is insane. He's going to have a D overdose, I think. So, so look, and then, you know.
That's why I always bring
disappear in
Taco Bell to my gym's pool. That's hysterical.
And Glenn, what do people bring to your pool?
I would like for them to bring some drinks occasionally.
And how about
Something to put in the
usually-
smoker?
something
yeah.
other than a Speedo too?
You-
How about like shorts and like
Oh, wait,
Speedos
sorry.
for the-
Surprise entrance. We have a surprise entrance about to be coming right behind me. She's gonna be so mad.
Oh
when she-
yeah.
and she's gonna be on camera, and she has no idea it's gonna happen. But that is, of course,
Oh,
my
nice.
wife. Yes,
Yeah.
Annie Miliano.
Boom.
Oh,
Hi,
Whoa,
Annie.
whoa. Come say hi to everybody.
Oh my goodness, I look like crap.
She looks like crap.
David always wants me
Hi, Annie.
to stop
Hey
by
there,
when I look
mommy.
like that.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
what's
Good.
it? How awesome is it to not be nauseous 24 hours a day?
Oh, I have been eating so much. I made a list of all of the things that I was craving while I was pregnant so that I could eat it now.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Well,
she has been. Another reason why I have no money.
Yeah.
It's
What's
okay.
your number one thing that you were craving?
Oh my goodness. Sushi, number one.
Yeah.
I feel like every pregnant woman starts craving sushi because the minute you're pregnant, you know you can't have it. So you're like,
Yep.
I want it.
That was the first real meal my wife had after she had
Was it
our
really?
kids. Yeah, I went out to a sushi.
Sushi, I'm telling you.
And I
sushi.
want you to know, one of the nicest things I've ever done in my life is I didn't eat sushi during her pregnancy as a sign of good. As a
Solid.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me too.
That's so you don't even like sushi.
I know.
you know,
So
but
Matthew asked, well, I'm
Andy
not sure if
apparently he
I'm
doesn't
asking
like
Matthew-
dirty diapers either. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Matthew's asking what your shirts read, guys, or this one's shirts read. But step back, show
Oh.
them your shirt.
Well, ours are Friday night audit shirts.
I'm so tired.
She's so
hey,
tired.
man, how are you?
That's her standing stance. Is how tired she is.
yes,
Yep.
I
Um,
stand by this.
You should.
and there's
But
the
now
guy
you-
who doesn't listen at school.
Hey, Fox.
Fox, how are you, buddy?
Hey
Are you in
Fox, how
trouble?
you doing?
When we go home, are you in
Hi,
trouble?
Fox.
Yeah,
Hey
you are.
Fox, tell us why you're in trouble.
Fox pleads the fifth.
Why are you in trouble? We're just talking about lawyers. He's no dummy. He's not going to incriminate himself on
he's
camera.
like, I'm not talking about this.
Absolutely not.
Come on,
Too funny.
come
So
on.
Matthew,
Oh,
how are
wait,
you?
last
Thanks
last
for
question
joining
from Mike, for my wife.
Okay.
How far down on the list were you craving me to be quiet?
I
Or just- how about you just say craving you,
shut up
period?
all the time. I was just like, just stop talking to me. Out of love. Come on. All right. Bye.
Oh,
Bye.
God.
Great seeing you.
Bye, guys.
Have a good nap in like 5 years from now.
Have a good-
Oh,
Those 2 hours sleep.
Again.
is-
I'm
Yeah.
so tired.
I'm so tired. I love
You
it.
probably remember those days where you could like take a nap on command when you have like 12
Yes.
seconds free. Yeah. The second we put the kids down for a nap, we would like fall asleep and it would we'd
I'm gonna
fall
sit-
asleep
I'm
instantly.
going to shift downstairs for like
Yeah.
2 minutes, and I have to go take to T-ball. So let me shift downstairs because being that my wife is home and she is from a culture that does not know how to be quiet, I'm going to go get
Gotta love those frozen pictures of David.
Yeah.
It's so weird
Oh, I love that
watching
picture.
It's just
Yeah,
weird.
they're off by
That's-
like a half second. So just so the people at home know what's going on, we've got the regular computer and then we got a monitor which has got a little bit brighter light so everyone can see what's going on over here. And they're off by like a second.
Couple
or,
of seconds,
Yeah. Yeah. So it's a little weird. Thanks for showing that, Dave.
just to keep you guys on your toes. Thank you, Mike, very much. Unfortunately, I'm a little less blessed because I know you. But I still, you know.
Hold on.
Wait a minute. There.
Yeah. No, I love Mike. Mike's basically been the fourth character. Throwing some of the best jokes.
I know.
Yeah, it's
History
a
out
great
there for
show.
comments.
And Mike, please keep doing it because I'm exhausted from having to do this show so much. We could use a little bit more help over here.
You could use a lot more help, honestly.
Yeah.
Now, did you bring the
The
road?
only thing I'm doing right now is making these headphones really, really sweaty for the guests the guests that come into the show.
Yeah, right.
So
Yeah, there you go.
he's gonna put these on his head, and he's gonna be like, "What the hell?" It's like, this is absolutely disgusting.
Glenn, why did you
That's
bring
my ear sweat.
That's why we travel with our own.
It's 80 degrees over here right now,
Yeah.
so it's getting warm.
Very much
Greg has
so.
a cool cameo incoming for the PM shift season 2 next week.
Oh, that's exciting.
Nice.
Yeah,
Well,
it sounds like Craig didn't know.
I did a voiceover for them for their opening, and then I also did a bonus for them, asking their viewers to subscribe and to ring the bell or smash the bell 2023 style.
Oh,
So that they are alerted to all the updates from the PM shift and hospitality update.
I love it.
Yeah, it was
Wonderful.
a good little thing. Hey, that opening that Tom did was great. Tom, happy birthday again. Doreen Lalani had her birthday last week when we
Happy
were at
birthday,
Ahoa.
Doreen. I didn't even know.
Yeah, no, I missed it. It's like, oh my God. So, but you know what else we got?
What?
We've got new
High
merch. We've got new merch.
No
from
way.
Friday Night Audit.
Oh, I didn't know about this.
Look at this.
Yeah, the camera's over here.
We've got our
Love it.
That's
t-shirt.
hysterical, dude.
Yeah.
Hashtag Grumpy Glenn.
Yeah. So,
Oh.
you get
Hey!
number one.
Wow,
That's
thank you, guys.
That's
So
really
officially, Todd has gotten more gifts from this show than me.
I don't know about that.
I'll say
I
for the
think you're
record,
up
this
there
is
a
my
bit.
first gift from the show. Now, I get gifted from these guys just about every time I watch a show because they bring me joy, entertainment,
Give me a pause button.
information.
yeah.
You know, they keep me appraised of all the cool things happening in the hospitality industry, which a guy like me needs to know.
Mhm.
And so, you know, it's great. So I'm gifted every time. This is the first physical thing I've received from, you guys or anybody.
Well, we're
really.
glad to add the physical to the emotional support that we give
Thank
you.
you very
I
much.
honestly feel like
But I'm gonna say, let's stop the physical right here. I love you guys, but no touching, no touching.
I
That's-
feel
hey,
like anybody that
David.
Wait,
watched
part of the deal was there would be touching. God damn it.
David,
over. Yes,
where can they find the Skull and Crossbones Grumpy Glenn shirt?
you can find that as well as any of your other amazing Friday Night Audit merchandise at Redbubble
Redbubble.
store. Make sure you check it
There
out.
you go.
All of your proceeds go to me to pay for that third kid.
Yes, that's right.
Unfortunately, I've
Yes,
not
we
seen
do.
any of those commission checks yet.
Well, it's not tax deductible. It's deductible.
I think Craig is using it to funnel an illegal weapons program in Central America or something.
That's it.
Like that, yeah.
It's actually to help pay for the shirts that I've ordered.
Tom says Craig has a great radio voice and a face for radio as well, Craig.
Yes, I do have a face for radio. I do.
An old but
I have
good
got
one.
no game anymore. I am just old and comfortable.
Aw.
I mean,
That's
to be
okay,
fair,
that's okay.
Craig,
How old are
to be
you?
fair, I'm 35 and I have no more gaming either, so it's
It'll be
fine.
66 soon.
66. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Sprightly.
Yeah.
All right.
But I still got lots of hair.
Lots of
Yeah, you really do. It is pretty spectacular.
And it looks great too.
I'm starting to lose some. So I was hosting this roundtable last week at Ahoa, and someone took a picture of everyone in the group, and I was at the head of the table, and you can see I'm like, oh, I didn't know I was losing hair up there. I became like all of a sudden like really insecure.
The Friar Tuck.
Yeah. I had no idea what that was going on up there.
There are
So,
honestly, Craig, all jokes aside, there are plenty of men in their late teens, 20s, and certainly early 30s who would love to have as much hair as you do.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, totally.
No, there are. I'm very, very fortunate, and I've got some friends that I've done this in the past with. That some of us go back to high school, but all of us were together in college, and all of us still have our hair.
Wow.
And
I wish I went to college with you.
yeah, it's just like, how did that happen? And the wives and everybody else, girlfriends get mad when all this madness starts because normally we have a dinner together. We
Right.
all swap lies, drink way too much, decide to let our hair grow, and whoever opts out has to pay for the next dinner and the haircuts.
Oh, my.
And make a donation to the Cancer Society. So it gets a little costly if you opt out.
Yeah.
So it's like, no, we're going to let it go. And I figured this is really the last hurrah for me.
Yeah.
So
you said that. When do you cut the hair?
well, I was hoping you were going to cut off the ponytail at
Yeah, but it
Click.
wasn't ready yet.
It's not long enough. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking before the end of the year that'll be done.
That better be live on Friday night.
Oh yeah, we have to do it on air.
Yeah, we're going to do it live. So yeah. So, hey, here goes
There goes another one overcompensating.
Oh, it is.
There's bikes now.
It's the motorcycles down there.
Oh, yeah, there's 4 of them.
That's like
And they're all like bright colors, and they look like the Vespas that were in that episode of The Mandalorian.
So what would you guys do?
Oh,
Yeah, what?
What would you guys do if you saw a car boat in the water?
I have seen them.
It is the trippiest thing I've ever seen. I'm
That
trying
was new, like
Wait,
in
Dave, how are you
60s or
how are you
70s.
aware of their existence?
yeah,
because
That
here's
was
the thing. Okay.
BD
Yeah.
before Dave.
Yeah.
I'm aware of their existence because a few years back, we were in Montreal for a family trip. We were driving back. And we
Right.
decided to stop in Lake George for lunch or dinner or
I hope
whatever.
you didn't literally stop in Lake George. That might have been a problem if you didn't have
No. But
car boat
if I had
deals.
one of these cars, it wouldn't have been an issue.
Yeah, those are
Yeah.
cool as F, man.
I'm sitting there at the restaurant where it was a beautiful day out. I'm sitting there
Yeah.
on the side of the lake, having our lunch or dinner, whatever it was. And 2 of these freaking things, not exactly this one, come driving by in the water. And I'm like,
Nice.
what
Yeah.
the fuck is that? So my parents, of course,
Man.
told me about them and growing up and blah, blah, blah.
Thanks for joining us.
And I'm like, that looks like the most ridiculous thing ever. If a little bit of water gets into it, it's gonna sink.
Right.
But hey, the 2 guys that were driving them loved it. It looked like so. I don't know how far down the lake they got, but
the boathouse in Disney Springs,
Yeah.
in Orlando,
Yeah.
right. South
Chris
Orlando.
does that right there.
Yeah, they have those. They have those there. You can ride them and all sorts of stuff.
We rented one of those little
Yeah.
boats at Disney Springs once,
Yeah.
and I went in an area we weren't supposed to go, and we got caught up in
Alligator came after you?
No, we got caught up in all the seaweed and stuff like that they have there.
yeah.
We had to get pulled out of there. It was highly embarrassing.
But that boathouse, that's a selfish plug. That was another
Yeah.
one of our projects that we've done. But
So,
yeah, that's how I know that. I'm
we're
gonna jump out of here.
Todd's gonna
gonna
go,
swap
and
out.
we're gonna bring in Nick Ramadio, the amazing general manager here at the
Oh, I know
W
Nick.
Hollywood Hotel. You know Nick. Apparently you met.
We've talked
Yes.
when you were at your other hotel.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, so he's just cleaning off the headphones for you.
Yeah,
apparently,
it's yeah. Here you go.
Well, listen,
All right,
guys.
here we
While Todd heads out, I'm gonna wait for Nick to jump on so I can say hey to
Yep.
Nick. I don't think I've talked to Nick since the last time we did a show with Nick.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Hey,
sorry.
Nick.
No, producer Dave.
Yes. How are you?
Nick and I have had
We're looking at this
conversations.
camera, by the way.
Okay.
Nick and I have had conversations. That's the funniest part about this job and what I do is that I know all these people in the industry. I've met none of them though. So,
We
it's
need to
pretty
change
much. What's that, Nick?
We should change that. Come on down.
Listen. I just had my 3rd kid. I'm ready to get away. So yes, I will find a day to come out to Hollywood for sure. I'll let you know when. But listen, I got to run to take my 2nd kid to T-ball.
Yeah.
So Nick, it's great to see you.
Great to see you
Always a
too.
pleasure talking to you. I'll definitely be out there soon. Glenn, not
Yep.
as much of a pleasure. Craig,
Well,
it's
what are
always
you
a
gonna
pleasure
do?
as well.
All right, make sure you leave us on a
So,
singer shot, would you there, Dave?
Take
Yeah,
care.
enjoy the fish show, okay?
Thanks,
We
bro.
will. Thank
Appreciate you.
Take care.
Sadly, this guy's got to work and can't join us. Well, thanks so much for having us here. This is so much fun. How beautiful. It's hard to see what was behind us, but we showed it off before. But it's the most incredible view back here. That's
We
so
have
awesome.
some of the best views in Los Angeles. It's great to have you.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great to be
Well,
here.
thanks for being here. So everything's coming along nicely. You started this job and you went immediately into a renovation.
Absolutely.
That's exciting, but also pretty crazy as you're trying to get acclimated to a new gig, I would think.
Well, renovations, they call for the best of us.
Yep.
Right.
We're tearing up the hotel, and there's disruption, there's noise, there's
Right.
dust. But we created an amazing temporary lobby here on our rooftop.
Yep.
Our sky loft. We've got an amazing pool up here. We just moved the restaurant as well. Typically, when you do a renovation, you're moving your operations into meeting rooms.
Yeah, right.
So nothing says hello to people like when you're in a bad meeting room.
Good answer.
But here we've got amazing views. We also did a 130-foot art mural on the ceiling by
Yeah.
James Peter Henry,
Wow.
who's a local artist. So you look out, you look up, and you see nothing but beauty. So
That's awesome.
it's a good time.
This temporary lobby is a great idea. And it's beautiful. Being up here on the 12th floor has, a great wow factor. And I hope you're going to keep the mural once this 12th floor gets done, because it'd be a shame to lose that. It's just beautiful.
Thank you. An interesting thing that we did was when I commissioned the artist to do the work, I asked them to paint it on panels.
Nice.
And so when we attach it to the ceiling, it can stay up there. But should we decide to do something different with the ceiling, we can take it down and we can install it somewhere else in the hotel.
Great idea.
To keep the art alive.
Yeah, that's really smart. So what can we expect when this is all complete?
So we're doing a total renovation. Our public areas right now. We'll do all of the guest rooms later this year.
Did you get a little closer to the mic? Yeah.
And then we'll do
Thanks.
the roof once we finish the ground floor. So the expectations are it will feel like a brand new property.
Wow.
We have a new restaurant partner here. They're doing the food and beverage. We've got this will be a Halo property, a flagship for W on the West Coast. So it's really, really exciting. The support from Marriott's been incredible. We have great owners. I mean, you really couldn't ask for anything more.
That's awesome.
This is wonderful. I mean, you guys have been a champion since you opened, and you're coming into the next chapter with this hotel. So we were lucky enough to have lunch here today, and food and beverage component up here on the 12th floor is amazing. Food was just right on target. Service was excellent as well. So what are they completely redoing all the guest rooms and the bathrooms, and what can we expect that this hotel is going to look like once it's done? Because you got to have a wow factor.
Sure.
As soon as somebody gets out of the car.
I can't show you renderings, but it's a wow. The hotel, like the brand, is going through this amazing evolution.
Yeah.
People know the W hotels, from the late 90s and early 2000s as a party place. It's going to be less party, way more sophisticated.
Okay.
Still amazing energy.
It's grown up.
Yeah, I was about to say, does that kind of go along with where your customers have gone in the last 20 so years, or it's just more in general consumers what they're looking for?
I would say it's a bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
Certainly our clientele has grown up over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
But where the consumers are, it's less about disruption and more about connecting.
Right.
Yeah.
And connecting in different ways, where we really care about our stance, things that we believe in, where sound is more than just, music. It's about why we program.
Right.
Taste, food and beverage is everything. Our scene includes, fashion, design, art.
Yeah.
So it really is a place that brings people together, connecting on a multitude of different levels.
Now, how many keys are at this hotel, and what's your meeting space like? Do you have ballrooms? You're able to hold huge events here, and
Sure.
And you've got the residents that are tied to this. How many units are over there?
So we currently have 305 keys.
Yeah.
We're going to be adding some keys through the renovation.
Cool. Nice.
About 19 keys. So we're excited
Wow.
about that.
How do you do that?
So we have our Bliss, which was our old spa.
Right.
That's being converted into guest rooms. And then our fitness room, which is on the 11th
I
floor,
like that idea.
will be also converted. We're moving fit downstairs on our ground level, which
Nice.
will be really exciting.
Yeah.
In terms of meeting space, we've got a ballroom that can be broken up into 3 different sections. It's about
Okay.
5,000 square feet. We have 6 other meeting rooms. We also
Wow.
have a sound suite where we can do live recording.
Yep.
As
Oh,
well,
that's pretty cool.
As well as we're working on doing an activation with DJs to record in there as well. And then we've got this rooftop, so we can do events for up to 1,000 people up here.
Here. Love it.
So about 30,000 square
Wow.
feet of total meeting space.
I didn't realize it was that big up here.
It is. It is. And then you mentioned the residents. We've got one of the best resident towers in all of LA since it's opened. About 150 units there. It's got amazing views, and it even has a helipad.
Gotta love that. Gotta love that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Now,
Maybe we could have that's what we should do. We got to take a helicopter over to
Phish
the
tonight.
Hollywood Bowl tonight.
Yeah,
let's do it.
that's it. Oh, God.
Much better than Uber.
Uber taxi,
Yeah.
no, Uber helicopter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, with those residents, is the hotel doing? I'm guessing their HOA fees are on a float. So if they come over and sign for food and beverage and They can have maid service if they want it and all of that. And no short-term rentals over there that they have to go through the
Oh my
hotel,
goodness!
correct?
Yeah,
No, absolutely no
Yes,
short-term rentals.
yes.
But no, they can definitely enjoy all of the amenities of the hotel. We just hosted a resident reception last week,
Nice.
introducing the new menu to them, cocktails. It was a great time.
That's nice. And then there's another one. Every 15 to 20 minutes, some guy drives by, way too loud.
It's just their way of saying hello.
Yeah,
That's the new LA greeting.
yeah, I love it. So I love that you're kind of rejiggering the place to appeal towards a different type of mindset as people get a little bit older, as tastes kind of change right there. So what are some of the things that people are really looking for right now, generally speaking, and how much do you think of it was just because people have changed, or what we were through in the last 3 years helped move things along a little bit quicker?
I mean, I think trends, that are here to stay. I mean, wellness is a huge component.
Yeah.
I mean, we've been hearing about that for years.
Yeah.
It
feels more real now, though.
It is, and it's not just what how big is your fitness, what equipment do you have. It's the programming around it. We like to think about activate, recuperate, rejuvenate, and really having a 360-degree approach to it. So it's not just again, a fitness room. It's a lifestyle.
Yeah.
And so how does that reflect in your menus and your food and beverage? It's more than a yoga class. I'm
going to focus on the recuperate tomorrow.
I recommend that.
Yeah.
Hydration.
Yeah.
Also, I think that we see a lot more concern about the why.
Yeah.
People want to know, sustainability. That we are engaged in our communities. Those are the things that I hear more interest than ever. And I think that is, part evolution of our society and of our clientele, as people are caring more and more about that, the details.
And are you also, because I'm seeing this in other areas, that staff also wants to work for companies that have ethics that they also agree with.
100%. And that's, one of the amazing things about Marriott. They've got a huge company culture about putting people first. And it's something that we take great pride in.
Yeah, that's really cool. Correct?
I love it. Now, the culture with your hotel, and this runs throughout the DNA with Marriott and so many others, is how are you involved with the community? I've always said it, hotel at its best, hitting on all 8 cylinders, is part of the community. Whether you're that second or third bedroom for other people, but you're always, you celebrate the community that you're in, and you're helping with charities and various other things. So could you give us a little bit more detail on that and how you guys are helping out the community?
Absolutely. I mean, it's how we participate.
Yeah.
So I just was fortunate to join the Hollywood Chamber of Commerce on its board of directors.
Cool.
I'm involved
Awesome.
with the Hollywood Project, which is an amazing organization that really focuses on the cleanliness and the security of our neighborhood. We host security meetings where businesses can come and we can talk to the police department about any concerns that come up.
Good.
It's also supporting charities. I don't say no to requests when people are looking for a donation.
You sure you want to say that on air?
I was thinking about that, but people are going to ask anyway, and we're happy to do it. And it's, we're going to host the Super Women's Luncheon for LA Magazine here in June.
Okay.
We're excited about
Nice.
that, and we love to find ways that we can partner for events where we can be a venue and try to do amazing collaborations together.
I like that. We should talk off air because I know the Hotel Association for LA, they're part of CHNLA. We should probably host a little mixer here.
I'm on that board as well.
Yeah.
So Heather Osmond's a good friend, and I'd be remiss not to mention our very special local partner, Project Angel Food. So we're highly engaged with them as our local charity that we support. And have a number of different programs with them this year.
Outstanding. See, this is hospitality at its finest, everybody.
Yeah,
we give back. We take, we help our communities. We help first responders, and this is one of the things that really drew me into hospitality some 28 years ago.
Yeah.
So
why did you want to be in the hospitality industry? And when you started, did you ever say, I want to be a GM?
So true story. My first start in hospitality was 8 years old, bartending at my family's parties.
That's when I was putting on magic shows that I made everyone watch.
No, but the kids' table was kind of boring. I was more interested in the really robust, active conversation.
I hear you. I was an only child. I was alone at the kids' table.
Yeah.
Pretty much down the hallway in another room. But
No, I know that feeling.
So my dad said, if you're going to stand there, you should learn how to make a drink.
right.
And we an Italian background, my grandmother was yay big.
Yeah, of course.
She was the kind of lady that you couldn't come within 5 feet without her trying to feed you.
Right.
So hospitality.
Because you can see you, she wants to feed you. I know. It's so funny. Because I grew up it's a Jewish background. It's the same exact culture except for Jesus, except the Jesus thing. But other than that,
Right, it's the grandmas, it's the food.
Yeah, my mom is steadily getting smaller.
Yeah.
Smaller now. Yeah.
So anyway, I was always around that hospitality, and it started off very organically. And then at 15, I was bussing tables at a fine dining restaurant, and while I was in high school, and kind of fell in love with the industry.
Cool.
That said, I thought I was going to be an attorney.
Yeah.
No one as a kid ever thinks, you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an astronaut, a police officer, a firefighter. No one ever says hospitality.
No.
So, and then from there started writing.
I mostly said male stripper, but that dream was ripped away from me.
like the Chris Farley skit on Saturday
I don't
Night
know, Glenn. Yeah, it's never too late.
Exactly.
Yeah, just like that.
But
Except I thought I was the the other role. Why am I forgetting his name? Oh,
Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze. Sorry.
yes.
Please continue.
But no, from running my first restaurant at 19 years old, and then moving on. Did I ever think I was going to be a GM?
Running a restaurant at
Wow.
19?
True
Where?
story. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
Wow, I was
Family
I was
owned, or
flipping
it
burgers.
was?
I was flipping burgers at Wendy's at age of 19, let alone running anything. That's pretty amazing.
It was a great part of a great adventure.
Yeah.
But wanting to be a GM, I don't think anyone ever thinks about it. But I think it's the commitment to lead and to lead by example, and
Yep.
that you want to do better for your teams. And so, starting as a busboy, a dishwasher, working on up as a server, then a manager, then moving into hotels, a restaurant manager, and climbing the ladder.
Right.
You're always inspired by mentors,
Yep.
and then wanting to do a better job for your teams, to be of service.
Well, and I also think you like our friend Chris Green, okay?
President of Remington Hotels.
Remington Hotels, Tom Goucher over at President Davidson Hotels. You guys started out on the front lines. You were hourly associates somewhere.
Yeah.
And you came up that ladder. And that's the other thing I love about this industry. You can make a career as in depth as you want and go as far as you want. And you always remember that. That's always in the back of your head. When you see a busboy struggling, you're the first one over there to help him.
Yeah.
And I love that about that, and that background. And it just works so well with being a GM at a W hotel in one of the most popular cities in the nation, if not the world. So yeah, appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
That's awesome. Anything else you got for this guy?
I
over
think
here?
we're good.
We got a concert to go
Yeah.
to tonight, and I gotta get all cleaned up for that so we could get dirty and have a really good time, man. Thanks again.
Thank you so much.
This is so freaking awesome to get to see you in person.
I know, finally.
I know. Yeah, Nick had been on the show a number of times during the big crisis that we were going through. So it's great to see you now on the other end of that in a new job, being part of such an exciting project over here. It must feel so good now to be past everything and have this opportunity and all of that kind of good stuff.
You definitely put things into perspective, and makes us, more appreciative and thankful for the things that, was normal prior to the pandemic.
Yep. And that's what we got to do. I'm going to call an ambulance and then they can take us to Hollywood Bowl.
If they don't get us
No, not
fine.
Caesar Sinai, Hollywood Bowl.
That's the best way to beat the traffic.
Yeah. All right, Nick, thank you so much for being here. Thanks to all of you
so
guys
much.
over here for
Appreciate
watching another episode of the one and only Friday Night Audit. Let me see if I can get this off. I'm just going to try to hit
Aloha.
All right, we're not going to do anything fancy because I can't read.